Hey, what's going on, guys? It's TBNR Frags, aka Preston here, and I've got an overkill double Moab for you guys today with the M16 and the MP5. And if you guys are unfamiliar with what an overkill double Moab is, or a double overkill Moab, is basically where I use two separate guns to get two different Moabs, and I have to use the first gun all the way through the first kill through the 24th kill to get the Moab, and then I have to switch to the second one to do the exact same thing. So I'm not allowed to pick up any kind of guns or switch, you know, like, let's say I got 10 kills with the M16, ran out of ammo, and I had to use my MP5K. I'm not allowed to do that. I can only use the first weapon all the way through. I gotta see it all the way till it's finished. So, if you guys are interested in my perk setup, I'm running, I believe, Scavenger. I always run Hardline, I think. No, I'm running Overkill. Duh, I can't run Hardline with Overkill. So yeah, I'm running Scavenger. No, not Hardline, Preston. Okay, we just discussed this about 2 seconds ago that you're running Overkill, and then my third perk is Stalker. Because of the fact that I do have one assault rifle with the MP5, so that is an SMG, I'm going to be moving a lot slower, which is kind of unfortunate because when you do this and you try to mix, you know, an SMG with an assault rifle, you do actually move slower because it carries off the assault's weight, and you guys all know that if you do have an assault rifle, you do run slower than if you had like an SMG or something like that. So that does give a little bit of more of a challenge. And also the cool thing about this is that my M16 has no proficiencies, but it does have the red dot sight, and my MP5K is completely bare naked. It's got nothing on it, just straight up MP5K, and that's what I thought totally made this gameplay really interesting to watch. So, you know, obviously you're playing some hard hat domination. Domination really is the best, I guess would say, game type to try to do this on. I could probably maybe do it on Kill Confirmed, but I know a lot of people get touchy about if you don't pick up tags, or if you do pick up tags, even if you do win, which is kind of silly in my opinion. And if you guys will see this gameplay, there are so many guys out here who are using Final Stand. It's absolutely ridiculous. It blows my mind how many times people can fall into Final Stand. I'm just like sitting there like, really? You're really falling into Final Stand that many times? Ay. So, but anyway, so what I want to talk about today was how I got better at Call of Duty, because so many people ask me this question, and I've been playing Call of Duty since late 2005, ever since I was a wee little lad. I think I was like 11 years old, 12 years old. I built my first computer, you know. I didn't start playing Call of Duty on the PC, by the way, guys. My first ever first-person shooter on the PC was Battlefield 2142. Absolutely loved that game. It was so much fun. That game just, it was so much fun. But anyways, afterwards, I ended up getting Call of Duty 4, like, exactly when it came out for the PC. My brother was like, Preston, or I was asking him, I was like, you know, what's a better game, Halo 3 or Call of Duty 4? Because I was thinking about maybe getting an Xbox and getting Halo 3 instead of getting, you know, Call of Duty 4 for the PC. And he was like, you know, I played both of them. I've never played Call of Duty 4 on the PC, but, you know, both of them are really fun games. He played them both on the console, so I was like, all right, maybe I should go pick up Call of Duty 4. So, head over to GameStop with my grandpa. You know, I was only like 11 or 12 at that time, and obviously I'm not allowed to buy the game, and they went in there, they're like, you know, this game is rated M for mature, and he's like, yep, I know, my grandson wants it. So, I gave him my money, and I got the game, and from there on, it was history. I mean, I played the living crap out of that game, had so much fun, and you know, eventually came on to, you know, the competitive game scene in COD 4, and I got on that, and I got on teams, and then I met some people, some friends, and some cool gamers, and they got me into Call of Duty 1, and then I started playing Call of Duty 1, and I basically dropped Call of Duty 4 for the longest time, I think for like a year or a year and a half straight. And Call of Duty 1 at that time, about in 2006, was still pretty alive, because the game did come out, or no, not 2006, excuse me, Call of Duty 4 didn't even come out to 07. So about 08, Call of Duty 1 was still pretty alive. You know, it's about 5 years old. It was as old as COD 4 is now, and you know, COD 4 is still pretty alive. You know, it's a little bit dead, but there's still a good amount of people playing it. And then I started playing Call of Duty 1, and I hopped immediately straight into the competitive scene. Since that game was so old, there weren't any like regular servers. All the competitive mods for PC had already been out for a very long time, and it was so much fun. Call of Duty 1 has a much different style than Call of Duty 4 and Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3. There's no sprinting in Call of Duty 1, And, you know, so it makes it a little bit more slower pace. The round time limits, I think, are like 3 minutes, 45 seconds instead of 2 minutes or a minute 45 is what I think COD 4 Pro Mod is. And so it's a much slower paced game type, but that does not make it worse at all. And the guns, oh my gosh, the guns in that game, the recoil on them are insane. They are just, I mean, they blow your mind with how incredible the recoil is, and not like in a good way, but in a way that like your whole mouse will just like fly up in the air from the amount of recoil, and you have to like learn how to control it. That's the main thing that I think really helped my aim. And all the Call of Duties was just from Call of Duty 1. And you can see right here, I'm trying to get this guy to kill me so I can go for my second Moab. Because I did get the first one. And the reason why I don't call in the first one when I get it immediately, and sorry if I sound a little bit nostrily, I'm sorry, I have a cold, I guess, or something like that. It's going around. And so the reason why I don't call in my first Moab is because I don't want everybody to leave. And a lot of times if you do call in the Moab, the party will back out, and I don't want that to happen. I wanted to follow through, and a lot of these guys had final stand, so I knew a lot of them were getting close to the point to where they probably wanted to leave and they didn't want to stay any longer. So that's why I don't call in the first one. And you can see I probably put like 8 guys in the final stand. But anyways, back on to COD 1. Like I was saying, the recoil is absolutely ridiculous, and it helped me with my aim in all of the Call of Duty games, because if you look at the recoil in this game, it's really not that bad. Like, people say the deagle in this game, like, the recoil is absolutely ridiculous. Like, oh, I cannot use that. The recoil, it's way too high. It's over 9,000. And I'm like, really? I mean, the recoil is kind of bad, but it's not that big of a deal to me. I mean, I guess it's because I'm used to it from the Call of Duty 1 games that I don't even find it that big of a deal. And, you know, Call of Duty 2, then to Call of Duty 4, then, you know, so on and so forth, the recoil in the game seemed like they just got lower and lower. And, like, the CM901 and the AK-47, people say that the recoil is too difficult for them to handle, or they just don't like it, or they have to use the kick proficiency on it. It doesn't really bother me a whole lot, and I can save an extra proficiency and use dual attachments on the, you know, the CM901 or the AK-47, because the kick really doesn't bother me a whole lot. And I really love that fact, because it helps me out so much. So I started playing COD 1. I didn't even start playing COD 2. I kind of like just skipped that game altogether. I have played a couple of months of it, not a very lot of it. You know, I don't really have any competitive history in that game. You know, I played it like pub. I've actually only scrimmed in it a few times. I've scrimmed in COD 1 probably, I'm not going to lie to you guys, over 300 times. And the cool thing about Call of Duty 1 is they had Rifles mode, which was a mod. It was called TWL Rifles, and you basically only had rifles against each other. Now, in Call of Duty 1, you can't regenerate health. So sometimes you would get a tag, is what we call them on the PC, but it's the same thing as a hit marker on console. So you would hit the guy, but he wouldn't die, but his health does not regenerate. So a one-shot again from anybody else, or falling damage or anything like that, could kill the guy. And then they had the all-weapons mod, which was CAL, which was a lot more competitive and in tournaments and stuff like that. And basically you got all the weapons, very similar to Call of Duty 4 and you know, Call of Duty 4 Pro mod. And so it just kind of took off from there on, and I had so much fun on it. And then, you know, I came back to Call of Duty 4, and they had released this new kind of mod called Damn Mod. That's actually what the name was. And that followed up to Pro Mod. And once that came out, I was hooked on the game. You know, I kind of got bored of COD 1 because I played it so long, and it was so much, you know, it was slow paced compared to COD 4. I'm not going to lie, it was slow paced. But the game was absolutely and ridiculously fun. So I came back to COD 4. I played in a lot of tournaments, online tournaments. I tried to go to some LANs, and if you guys don't know what a LAN is, basically it's like a local area network, and it's where you guys go and you play in a local area network connection, and you play for money in a tournament. And LANs are really awesome because there's no lag whatsoever, because you're all connected together on the same modem, or the same router, excuse me. And so from there on, you know, I always watched kill cams when I died. I made sure that if I died to something, and I knew that, like, I always learn from my mistakes. That's the most important thing in Call of Duty, is learning from your mistakes. Like, when you go to shoot a guy, and let's say, you know, your aim is a little bit off on the guy because you're aiming too much to the right, then you'd be like, all right, I need to correct this. I need to aim a little bit more to the left. So you do that. Or let's say you watched the kill cam and you saw this guy, you know, he drop shot you, and you're like, well, maybe I should try that next time. You know, you guys gotta, like, invent your own playing style. I've learned from playing it, Call of Duty for so long and watching other people, and that's just really, in all honesty, how you get better. You got to learn from your mistakes. If you're just running around the map and you're just playing the game and you're not putting any thought into what you're doing, then you're not going to do well. You've got to learn from your mistakes in Call of Duty. That's the biggest thing about getting better, is just playing ahead of your opponent. If you always play ahead, and if you plan around what they're going to do, then there's a really good chance you're going to outplay them. And that's what it all drops down to. And you can see right here, oh my gosh, epic moment for the second Moab. And I get both of them just in time. 11 points off until we win in domination. And you guys have no idea how good that felt. So, guys, that is just really how I got better at Call of Duty, was playing the first Call of Duty all the way to Modern Warfare 3 and experiencing all these different kind of players and learning from my mistakes. I mean, that is honestly, if I could give you one tip in Call of Duty, it would just be learn from your mistakes, watch the kill cams, watch how your enemies play, and learn from that. And if you guys are, still new to the game, or maybe you've been playing a while, watch some good gameplays. Watch good players, learn from their gameplays, learn from their mistakes, because not every player is perfect, So make sure to learn from their mistakes and learn from the stuff that they do that's right and good. So I hope this kind of helped you guys. I know it was kind of different, but and this was a long video, but I felt like we covered the commentary really well. So once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. You have no idea how much I appreciate all of your support lately in all of my videos. It was awesome. You guys smashed over 2,000 likes yesterday in my my sniper L118 Moab. That means a lot to me. So once again, thanks so much. If you guys did enjoy the video, hit the like or the favorite button. It helps me out loads and helps other people find my videos, and it's really awesome. So if you guys want to, go ahead and click below and subscribe to my channel. You can check out the other Moab videos in the bottom left and bottom right hand corner. Thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful and safe day, guys, and I'll see you later. Peace out.